Titanic 2. Is this a bad movie? Let's get into it. Titanic 2. It's from 2010, it lasts an hour and a half. It's an Asylum Pictures movie. If you're familiar with Asylum Pictures, then you know you're in for a treat. Not this time. Well, so a millionaire named Hayden Walsh has financed the Titanic 2 on the 100th anniversary of the original Titanic. Did they not learn? I guess not. Why would you name a boat Titanic 2? It's just asking for trouble. And trouble is what they get.
And that's called karma.
The main protagonist is Amy. She is a nurse on board the Titanic 2. She also happens to be Hayden's ex-girlfriend. Yeah, and when she thirsties Hayden this time, he's got 3 bits of linen on his arm. He's living the playboy lifestyle, and he says, "Hey, it's good to see you." And then they set sail. All good. Not all good, because her dad is this naval commander or something. He's a helicopter pilot, and he's like, "Hey, have fun on board, honey. I have to go to an Arctic research station." He has to go to the Arctic to meet a doctor, Dr. Kim Patterson, and she tells him that the ice caps are melting.
Oh dear.
It's going to cause problems for ships today, basically.
What a coincidence.
So, as I stand talking about this, the ice starts to crack and melt and shift beneath them. So they have to flee, they get to the helicopter and take off. They discover it's going to cause an underwater tsunami, and this is going to push anything under the water up and forward, including icebergs. Yes, indeed. So the Commander James, he radios the Titanic 2 to say, change course, turn around, hit reverse, whatever you need to do, that they're too slow, because the iceberg hits them. Now, earlier in the movie they said, it's alright, we're not like the original Titanic, we have plenty of lifeboats. But then the iceberg hits the side of the ship, and it takes out half the lifeboats. And they say, we weren't prepared for that. Well, what's the point? Anyway, this movie. Also, the Navy called the Titanic 2 to say, get everyone to the lower decks. And then pretty much instantly, Commander James calls the Titanic 2 and says, get everyone to the upper decks. Yes, I don't know who to leave. So they're all running it out. Actually, no. Commander James just contacts his daughter secretly and says, get to the upper decks. He doesn't care about anyone else. So, well, she and Hayden get teamed up. Where's his girlfriends? No idea. They're never seen again.
We'll miss them, won't we?
But he's ditched them anyway so that he can risk his life with his ex-girlfriend. And she says, oh, you could have called. And he says, I did. I called 6 months later. But your dad punched me in the nose. What kind of trash is this? Where's Jack? So the announcement is made over the ship's tannoy. All customers retrieve your life vests. This is not a drill, so everyone's run about in panic. The ship starts to sink. There's an explosion. They're told that because the sea is still shifting and the iceberg are still moving and all that, all the lifeboats are death traps. And then they see loads of people getting on the lifeboats and they're fine by the end. They seem to be. And in fact, we see one young woman on one of the lifeboats, and she sees a part of the ship explode. Yeah, because the gas tank inside blows up, right? And she's like, oh no, not again. Is this she was there 100 years ago? It's like she's lived it before. Oh, did you notice when the ships first hit? There's some acting, they're tilting the camera and everyone's leaning to the left and right. There's one guy leaning the wrong way. So there is only one lifeboat in use, and that's the one where that woman was like, not again. But to save all the other passengers, because they've got less than an hour now, for some reason, to save all the other passengers, they deploy submarines. Yeah, these big yellow cartoon submarines. Unbelievable. And they start taking passengers off on them. They also try to send in help from the air. They send in a plane, but the plane is hit by a tidal wave yet and explodes in the air. What's that about? Amy and Hayden stay on board because Amy's friend and colleague, Kelly, is trapped in the lower decks. So, I don't know how she knows. But Amy says, I'm going down to get her. Hayden says, I'll come with you. We go down to the lower decks to find Kelly. She's trapped under like a filing cabinet or something. Really badly hurt. She can hardly walk. Yeah, and then they get in the elevator and they realise the elevator is not working, so they have to climb up the shaft.
It's like Die Hard.
Yeah, they open up the top of the elevator and climb up the massive ladder. And Kelly, who can barely walk, still manages to climb the ladder easily. Yes, she does. At the top, they have to squeeze out through the doors. It's Amy first, then Hayden, and then Kelly starts to come through, but of course, the doors close and cut her in half.
Oh, damn.
She's dead. Now Hayden and Amy, who take zero time to breathe, they just run up to try to get to the top decks. They manage to get to top decks, but they're a bit too late. The ship is almost fully submerged, so they find themselves trapped in an air pocket. They're like underneath a part of the ship, above the water. But the air pocket they're in, I don't know if it's a room or under a boat. I wasn't really paying attention by this point. But it's filling up with water, so they're going to drown. However, Amy has a frog suit. She has a wetsuit and an oxygen mask and an oxygen tank. She takes it on and she says, right, you'll take turns breathing. Hayden says, no, it's fine. I'll just drown. And you can revive me later.
What about you?
I drowned. If they get here soon enough, I could be revived.
No.
This is seriously his plan. It would have been easier to stick with Amy's plan of taking a nozzle, breathing, giving it to the other person, breathing, and doing that back and forth until either you're rescued or the tank runs out, which would be hours, so you'd be rescued first. But Hayden is like, no, I'll just drown, and then you can revive me. Who wrote this? I don't know. On board the helicopter, Commander James and the doctor have arrived. Commander James gets into his own wetsuit, which was on a helicopter, and dives into the water. Yeah, and as soon as he's gone, the pilot's like, listen, this helicopter's about to go down. For some reason, oh, I know what it is, they're out of fuel. They just forgot to check that earlier. I guess so. He says, Doctor, jump out, there's a life raft below you, jump out and land on that. So she does. She jumps out and lands on this life raft, and then he just dies. Yeah. The commander rescues his daughter, and together they bring up the lifeless body of Hayden. Yet they get on the life raft, where there's a doctor who does nothing. Amy starts to resuscitate him, get on CTR. Watch them drown right in front of their face. So she's getting on CTR, and it doesn't work. He's dead. The end. That is the end. We see some rescue choppers flying in to pick them up, but apart from that, that is the end of the movie. Hayden dies. He's... Why? What a lot of shite. Well, as original, I've not seen Titanic. Is it like this? It's nothing like this. For a start, it takes 2 hours to get to the action. Oh. But it's all good. It's all world building, it's character development, and it's shown us the stakes. But it's nothing like this. Nothing is anything like this. Right, so Titanic 2. Is it a bad movie? I was going to ask you that. Oh, yes, it is. Oh, yes, it is. I agree. It's not good at all. Not at all. It's cheap CGI. It's bad acting. Terrible special effects. This is all standard stuff for Asylum, but it's also a bit confusing, and what a strange ending. Yeah. Let's not let the viewer go home happy. Let's send them home devastated. Anyway, let us know your thoughts on Titanic 2 from 2010. And if you've not seen it, don't watch it. Hit like, hit subscribe, watch another video. Near, far, wherever you are.